think my microphone is fucked. Oh. Sound now? Can you hear me? You can hear me now? I think my Go XLR, I think my mixer is going. I think my mixer is actually dying on me because that's how you guys hear me. That's going to suck if it does because this is a $600 fucking mixer. That sucks if it is dying. Yeah, I don't know. All the sounds that you guys hear, all the sounds that you all hear come through like the video, come through a video, right? My microphone is powered by a Go XLR. And yeah, it's weird. I don't know why we didn't have any sound. I had to close out the program and reopen it. So I don't know. I don't know if it's a software issue or the mixer is going. Okay, quick little thing here. All of the regular commands are off. So we're not going to have bad attack. We're not going to have evil, horny, etc., because it's Coffee Chat of Horrors. So on Coffee Chat, there are no sounds or anything else. It's just your basic chat show without the extra stuff. I know. You can hear me now. Good morning, Haley and Macabre Tavern. How are you? Dahi, Don, good morning. Diella, Basement Cat. Good morning. Yeah, I don't know what the hell. But like I said, it might be the fact that it's dying. I don't know. I've had this Go XLR since 2019. Right? That's when we got it. Was in like 2019, 2018, somewhere around there. And I know they no longer do support for it because they closed down this part of TC Helicon, from my understanding. I hope it's not. I hope it's not dying because these friggin' things are expensive. They're not cheap. No, it's not very old. It was bought brand new. It was so the reason why I bought a TC Helicon Go XLR is because it was super easy to set up. I don't have a great time with audio or lighting. So I bought this due to the fact that it was for people who do not have a lot of know-how in the mixer realm. So yeah, I think it was like 2018 or 2019. I think it's 2018 we bought this bitch. And it was pretty easy to set up. It's not that old, but nowadays things don't last like they used to, right? Like you can have a refrigerator from 1940s still be working, but a refrigerator from 2017 is dead. I don't know. I don't know if it's quality of parts or what, but that's going to suck if it's dying on me. How was everybody's Saturday night? What did you guys do? We had a Halloween party in the Discord. We had a great time last night. Yeah, we had a great time last night. It was hilarious to hang out and play. We played What the Dub, and we played Jackbox Party. It was a really good time. No worries, Macabre. You must have needed the sleep. Yeah, no, it was a lot of fun. The words of the night. Good morning, Deadwalk. The words of the night were syphilis and pigs. So if you hear people next week talking about syphilis and pigs, you'll know why. You'll know why. I wanted to attend, but then I got sucked into COD Zombies mode. No worries, no worries. Just trying to watch Anne Rice's interview with the vampire. Nice. I always hate missing. Yeah, our next party will be our Krampus party, and the vote will be in the Discord for the Krampus party. Yes, and aliens knocking up men. Yeah, that was another topic that was on the agenda of the night. It's going so great right now for me. Tomorrow's my birthday, which I'm excited. I probably might watch a horror movie later. Yesterday, I watched Hills Have Eyes. Nice, Haley. Happy early birthday. And was it the original Hills Have Eyes or was it the remake? Both are good. Both are good. But yes, those are the topics. Syphilis, pigs, alien impregnation. If you want to see any of the screenshots from the show, from the party last night, it's in the Horde channel, in the Horde voice channel. Our Krampus party will be held in December. The vote for the Krampus party will go up in the Discord closer to the time. So probably in the beginning of December, possibly the end of November, we'll put the vote up for what day and time we want to do our Krampus party. And it's the same thing. We hang out, we drink, we play games. We were laughing our friggin' asses off pretty hard yesterday. Did finish batch recording. Nice. 31 days yesterday. Syphilis Pigs, Alien Pregnation. What is this? The Sims, right? But yeah, that was the gist of our party. It was a good fucking time. You have Krampus on DVD. Krampus is great. The original, nice. Yeah, you can't go wrong with the original. Krampus is a good, fun movie. There's several Krampus movies, depending on how serious you want to get and how family friendly you want to get. But in December, we have our Krampus party in the Discord, and everybody who's in the Discord is invited. Before we dive into Coffee Chat of Horrors deep dive, I'm really excited to bring you guys Ringu. I really enjoy the original film. I am excited to bring you some of the information I found as I was deep diving into the actors, the director. Yeah, we have a Krampus party every year. We don't do Christmas parties. It's a Krampus party. So we do Krampus parties every year in the Discord. This is going to be our 7th annual Krampus party. So it is a great movie, Haley. Great movie. Yeah. Now, there is a remake, obviously, North American remake. But let's see what the tarot cards have for us today and the start of our week. I got to be careful that I don't fall on Fusa right now because she is sitting on my lap. However, yes, Ju-on. Ju-on is a great, great movie. Haley, I did a Coffee Chat of Horrors 2 weeks ago on Ju-on. We deep dived into Ju-on. If you are interested in checking it out, it's on my YouTube channel in the playlist Coffee Chat of Horrors. This month was basically diving into Japanese horror. Next weekend, we are doing Audition and One Cut of the Dead. Those are our next upcoming Coffee Chat of Horrors that I'm excited about. All right, what do we need to know for the rest of the week, beginning of the week, actually, for the rest of the weekend and the beginning of the week? Yes, Audition is a great psychological horror. I mean, I really love Audition. I highly recommend it. And yes, we are deep diving into that. That'll be next weekend. And then the weekend after will be One Cut of the Dead. Definitely a great movie. Definitely. Okay, so let's see what our cards say for us for the beginning of the week before our CCOH. All right. You guys have some competing goals going on right now. Those competing goals aren't going to be great for you because they're competing against each other. When we create goals, we want to make sure that these goals are obtainable goals. A lot of the times we get gun-ho and we put these goals on a board that are right now a little hard to reach because they're such big goals. So right now, what's best for you is to break that big goal down into additional little goals so they're a bit more obtainable for you without giving yourself anxiousness, anxiety, or feeling overwhelmed, which then you never complete that goal. So the thing for today is basically take your goals and break them down into smaller, more obtainable goals so that your end goal is there. And it's better to reach your end goal with a bunch of little goals than having one giant friggin' goal. That's our first card. Our second card is a 7 of Earth, and you have been planting the seeds. You've been feeding your dream. You have been making things happen. And now everything is going to start to come to fruition. Going into the week, you're going to see that things are starting to make you feel easier. You're going to be able to breathe better. Don't overly worry about some of the temporary pauses that you may have in your world at that point. The temporary pause is just a breather for you to catch your breath. The next one is the 10 of Earth. So there's a lot of finances in this reading. This is your second pentacle card, 10 of Earth. And it's saying that there's financial security on the horizon. Things are going to start coming in and flowing for you a bit better. Finding the magic back in life, which sometimes we lose and we forget that life is very magical. If you think about how we got here, the animals, the plants, all of the things that make up the earth, we tend to forget how magical life really is. because of every day, the stresses, what's going on in the world, what's going on in our personal life, we forget how wonderful life really is because it gets so friggin' hard. So this card is here to tell you that you need to start finding the magic in the little things around you again, like you once did. They're there still. You just have to make that point to go and see them again. Your next card is the Five of Air, and there were some unwise choices that you're going to make this week. You're going to learn from them. They're not horrible choices. It's a choice, not really too many choices, just a choice. You're going to learn from this choice, and this choice is going to help you grow. So don't be afraid of making mistakes. Don't be afraid of that word failing. I don't like the word failing, but if you don't fail, you never get better at what you're doing. So if you don't make a mistake, you'll never succeed to be where you want. So don't beat yourself up too much this week. If you decide to make your choice is not the greatest choice, don't beat yourself up. Take it as a learning. Chalk it up as a learning, and you'll be happy about that. And you won't beat yourself up so much about it as if you looked at it as a failure or a mistake, you fucked up. Think of it as, okay, I made this decision. How can I come back from this decision? What did I learn that I can make this next step, right? Don't look at it as a mistake or a failure, because when you start looking at it like a failure, you're going to get disheartened. Shit happens. This is the way it is. And that is your reading for Sunday. That's going to go into our week, our start of our week. So Monday and Tuesday, and possibly even Wednesday. Yeah, macabre, childlike wonder. Definitely. That's exactly what that's about. Because sometimes we miss that magic in life. We end up, because we're so busy, the things going on in the world around us, our own personal life, we may have shit going on. All of that jazz covers up a lot of what we see in our everyday life that is magical. Life needs to be magical again. You need to see that magic. You need to see how beautiful the world really is. Even though there's a lot of ugly, still very beautiful. And it is very easy, exactly, Dahi, with so many distractions. We're so many distractions: cell phones, computers, video games, politics, religion, society as a whole, what's going on in your own personal life. Maybe you're going through a breakup. Maybe you're going through a job change. Maybe you were laid off. Maybe you're losing your home. All of these things play a role in helping you lose sight of how beautiful and magical life actually is. Riggs, hi and bye. Have fun carving your pumpkins. Have a great birthday party. I carve my pumpkins on Halloween night. Bye, Riggs. Enjoy your day. But yes, it is very easy to forget the little things in life and how magical life can really be because of all the shit that gets piled upon our shoulders. But not to worry, because you can change that by changing your outlook on everything. It's not hard. It just takes some dedication and some practice to change your outlook. It really isn't hard, I promise. It isn't. You just have to change the way you look at things, right? And instead of the glass half empty, you can look at it as the glass is half full. It's that easy to switch and just keep reminding yourself, because you can see the negative or you can make yourself see the positive in things. All right, I think it's time to head into our coffee chat of horrors, deep dive into Ringu. I'm excited to bring it to you.
Like scary movies and coffee.
The following show is based on research on horror movies and what goes on behind the scenes of your favorite scary movies. Horde Entertainment or ReAnimateHer is not responsible for the macabre and horror that you are about to witness. Viewer discretion is advised.
All right. Good morning, my daywalkers. I am ReAnimateHer, your queen of horror, and this is Coffee Chat of Horrors, the only horror show it's the only horror show that is live and deep dives into discussions. Today's screams are going to come to you from Hideo Nakata in Ringu. So buckle up, my ghouls, as we traverse the realms that nightmares are made of. Hello, Don. I'm good. How are you? Ringu was released in 1998, directed by Hideo Nakata, written by Hiroshi Takahashi and Koji Suzuki. The budget for this film in American money is $1.2 million, and in box office globally, it only made $150,000, which is ouchies. Because that's a huge and that's American money. So when we speak about budgets and box office, it's always going to be in USD. Even though Japanese money is totally different than the US, still an ouch. 1.2 million compared to $150,000. It was 150,893 to be exact. Which, ow, that kind of hurts the purse. Now, how the Ringu goes, the synopsis of Ringu, is when a reporter, Reiko Asakawa's niece, and 3 friends mysteriously die after watching a cursed videotape, she embarks on a chilling investigation. After finding and watching the tape herself, she receives a haunting phone call telling her she only has 1 week to live. This film, which became a cornerstone of Japanese horror, combines supernatural elements with a haunting atmosphere that lingers long after the credits roll. Now, this movie stuck with me, which is so true that it literally sticks with you after the credits roll, because the haunting, the look of Sadako, just the story of it, the visuals that Ringu brought to you was pretty friggin' scary. We do have the trailer that we're going to dive into as well, so we're going to take a look at that. Good morning, Murder Muffin. No worries. It's all good. We did have a blast last night. But we're going to go and watch that trailer. They did such a good job with that trailer, especially at the end. Hello, Gulf Gully. How are you? Enjoy your lurk, Handar. Hi, how are you? Yeah, that movie is pretty creepy. It's creepier, I think, than the remake that happened, which there is a remake. There's a North American remake. I was quite surprised to find out how many people didn't realize that that was a remake when they seen it in North America. Ringu did not play in American theaters. So when the remake happened, there were a ton of people that I spoke to that had no idea that there was an original. I find the original scarier than the remake just because I don't know. I think it's the visuals that they do, the faces that they make, just everything about the movie I found creepy. And it's a great Halloween movie. Hello, how are you, Brooklyn? So the production of Ringu spanned a very tight schedule of just over 9 months. So a total of 9 months, guys, this movie was created. This included 3 to 4 months for scripting and pre-production, 5 weeks of shooting, and 4 months of post-production. Hideo Nakata's commitment was intense, as he even financed a large portion of the film's budget of $1.2 million. Yeah, could you imagine, being able to just budget that? Now, of course, globally, this film did not do well, but in Japan, this did amazing. So, you know, with the exchange rate, it looks like a long hair it is. She has long hair. A lot of people get Kayako and Sadako confused because very similar legends. They're both onros, right? So they're both vengeful spirits. And if you don't know the lore, then you would think that they're both the same, but they're not. They're two different entities, but they are onros. Now, in order to get the visuals that you see in this film, so for the cursed videotapes, Nakata used a 35mm film process with a grainy effect, adding to the unsettling nature of the cursed images. The film's visuals required creativity due to the budget constraints, which most films do. So due to the budget constraints, especially in the iconic scene where Sadako emerges from the well and into the room. To achieve her unnatural movements, actress Rei Ino, trained in kabuki theater, was filmed walking backward, and the footage was then reversed. So naturally, when we watch something, when it's moving forward, it's natural, it's nature, it's second. Our eyes don't, our brain doesn't recognize any kind of fear or creepiness. However, when something is walking unnatural, spider crawl, walking backwards, just really weird and creaky walking, our eyes tell our brain this is not natural, and it then kicks in a fear response. I'm doing good, Monkey. How are you? Hi, Philip. How are you? So it brings in a fear response. So your eyes are telling your brain you're seeing something that is not natural. We know that numerous films utilize this technique of filming walking backwards and then the footage being reversed. We know my cosplay on Friday, where I played Mark Jarvis from part 2 of Friday the 13th. We know that the machete was in Mark's face first when they did the filming, but then they just reversed it. So it looks like he's getting hit in the face with the machete. So a lot of films do this technique, use this technique, and it creates a very unnatural feeling to your eye and to your brain. So your brain tells your body, this is not natural. The shit's going on. I am fabulous, Philip. Welcome to Coffee Chat of Horrors. We are deep diving into Ringu today. We're just diving into it. Have you seen Ringu? I figured, time to distract a puppy. Have fun. We had a really good time in the Halloween party last night. Really good time. You missed some really funny shit, especially your name was involved. But I'm not saying what it is because you weren't there. Okay, so Sadako, the film's antagonist, embodies the Japanese onro, a vengeful spirit that can physically manifest to seek revenge. The spirit often appears in a disheveled state of pure rage, exacting justice upon the living. Sadako's character also draws from various Japanese legends. There are numerous Japanese legends in this film that Sadako is portraying. Hello, big dumb monsters. How are you? Hey, Sebastian. No apologies. It's all good. Now, Sadako, I'm going to dive into some of the legends that are associated with Sadako, not just only the onro. So Sadako's connection to the well is inspired by the legend of Okiku, a woman who was tortured and whose spirit rose from a well. Yeah, that's definitely scary, you know, having somebody, a spirit that has been in a well, most likely not of her own doing, and then comes back vengeful. I grew up watching The Ring. So you're talking about the American remake, The Ring of 2002. The one that we're talking about today, Sebastian, is Ringu. This is the original Japanese film that was released in 1998. Is it better? Oh, it's way... to me, I find the original Ringu scarier and creepier than the remake. The Ring 2002 you have seen. So there's some differences in the North American compared to the original Japanese horror. There's quite a few differences in them. And we'll go down into that as we go deeper into our CCOH. However, I would highly recommend you finding Ringu 1998 and watching it. I personally found the original to be creepier than the remake. I mean, the remake was good, don't get me wrong. I just find it creepier. As Halloween's coming, I can't wait to see Terrifier 3. No, I have not seen it, Sebastian. We have an ad break that's going to happen here very soon. No, I have not seen it because my theater is not hosting Terrifier 3, so I am waiting till November when it comes out on VOD, and then I'll be able to see it. I'm doing good, Big Dumb Monsters. I am doing fabulous. I cannot complain. I hope you're doing well. But I think if you're in Canada, I believe Ringu is on Shudder. I also believe it's on Tubi.tv. I don't know in the States, though. I'm not 100% sure. But if you haven't seen it, I would definitely go and check it out. Okay, so we're going to go, and I think we should just wait because there's going to be an ad break. I'm just going to wait. If you don't like ads, subscribe so you don't miss any of the content. Exactly, Hundar. Of course, I like speaking with you too, Sebastian. I wish we could do a podcast together and we'd spend time chatting. And yeah, that we do. This is why I do here. That's why I do this live Coffee Chat of Horrors. I can easily record this and put it down to like 10 minutes, 15-minute video. But I don't find it as much fun as sitting here doing this live because we get to sit and chit chat. We get to hang out. We get to talk about the movie itself. It's on Shudder in the USA. Perfect. So if you want to see Ringu from 1998, it is on Shudder. If you have Shudder, you can catch it there. I do enjoy doing it live because then we can have discussions. I think it's just better that way. I'm not big into supernatural horror. There are some that I like and love. Yeah, I'm not a huge supernatural myself. I like them. I enjoy them. I love mythology and lore from other cultures, like Japanese horror, Korean horror, Chinese horror, Turkish. There's quite a few, and they use a lot of their own legends and mythology and folklore to make these movies. Yeah, there are ads right now as we speak on Twitch. About myself, apart from being a cinephile, I still live with my parents as I'm unemployed, but trying to get the normality here in Chile. Hey, you know what? In times like right now, it's not a horrible thing to live with your parents. Like, Jesus Christ, do you see how much the cost of living is? I don't blame anyone for moving back home to try to save some friggin' money. The legend of other cultures are cool. Right, Philip? I think it's really cool to listen to their folklore. Like, Western culture had the Brothers Grimm, right? So each culture has their own folklore and mythology, and I really enjoy seeing movies made about it. Prophets, darling. Hello. Good morning. Hi, Paul. Good morning. But yes. We're in an ad. 29 seconds left, and we'll continue. Thank you very much, Paul, for re-sacrificing your soul for 52 months. Me too, Basement Cat. I find it very interesting because I'm not a part of that culture, and to learn more about a culture that I'm not a part of, it's fabulous, I think. But thank you, Paul. Mwah, I appreciate it. I hope you're doing well. Do you find Planet Terror 2007 an underrated movie? I do, and I really love Planet Terror and Death Proof. I think they're both underrated films that people should see. All right, guys, welcome back from that ad. We will continue on with our CCOH. For those of you who are just joining us, we are deep diving into Ringu from 1998, and I'm just going into the different legends that Sadako is created from. Death Proof is my favorite. Okay, so Sadako's connection to the well is inspired by the legend of Okiku, a woman who was tortured and whose spirit rose from a well. Shizuko Yamamura, Sadako's mother in the film, is loosely based off of Shizuko Mifune, a real woman rumored to have psychic powers. After her powers were dismissed as fraud, she took her own life by ingesting poison. So these are also a couple of legends from Japan that play a role with Sadako and how she was created. Sadako's psychic power is known as nensha, is a form of spirit photography that allows one to imprint images from the mind onto surfaces. This is ultimately how she burned her haunting images onto the cursed videotape, which has deadly repercussions for those who watch it. So if you're wondering, how did she get herself onto that? Her superpower, or her supernatural power, psychic power, is nensha. Hello, Ace. How are you? Good morning, or actually good afternoon for you. Hello, Deepak. How are you? Hello, Francesca. How are you? Good morning, or good afternoon, or good evening, depending on where you are in the world right now. Again, if you're just joining us, we are talking about Ringu from 1998. You feel like shit? Oh, that sucks. I hope you feel better. Can we get some juju in the chat for Ace? Let's some juju for you. I do hope you feel better, Ace. As far as I know, before Zack Snyder got into DC Universe, his first featurette film was Dawn of the Dead, 2004, which I saw with my dad as a kid. Nice. I like Dawn of the Dead. Dawn of the Dead is a great movie. Thank you guys so much for the juju for Ace and feeling better. Okay, so in the novel, Sadako was actually an intersexed woman with rudimentary male organs in her reproductive system. In the film, Sadako is shown having purely female characteristics. This may have some supernatural implications based on her conception. You know, there's the sound of the phone that you hear in this movie, how creepy it is. Okay, so the sound of the cursed phone, the ringing actually is a blend of 4 different phones. So they created 4 different phones put together to create one eerie, creepy ringtone. And that ringtone is very unsettling. I love how they utilized sound and visuals to create you feeling unsettled. Every time that phone rang, you were just like, oh, you know, it gave you that like, oof, like, you know, for me, it did. If you haven't seen the original, I highly, highly suggest you see the original. But yeah, 4 different phones to create that one ringtone. Now there is a end scene that I've actually done a cosplay of Sadako, and everybody knows of the close up of the eye where it's open and she's like looking at you. This close-up was done and performed by a crew member called Norio Mazazaki, who trimmed his eyelashes to enhance the disturbing look. So not the actress that did the end scene, it was Norio Miyazaki. And he trimmed his eyelashes. Like, I mean, that's dedication. I would not want to trim my eyelashes. Anyways, trimmed the eyelashes, his face was up to the camera like this and opened up his eye wide, which really made it creepy. And I'm pretty sure we have a visual of that in our pictures here. But I wouldn't want to cut off my eyelashes, man. I don't know. Like, he trimmed them down to be super short. I don't think I would. I don't know, man. How much money you'd have to give somebody to do that? You couldn't do that? I'd be afraid of stabbing my eye. Well, I wouldn't be more afraid of stabbing my eye. I would be more afraid of what can get into my eye, because your eyelashes do a lot more than look pretty with mascara. And so I'd be afraid to cut them off. I'd be afraid they wouldn't grow back. Those are some wicked fingernails, yes. And how they did those fingernails is they used fake nails and then cut them to give them that odd shape, like she's been in the well. Yeah, it's pretty gross what they what they were able to create. I think eyelashes grow back, but I'm not willing to try that shit. Okay, so in Ringu, Sadako's face is never fully revealed, preserving her mystery and terror. Which, if you take a look at the original movie and you look at a lot of the images, her face is never fully revealed, which I think is a good thing, because it does keep to the creativity of your own imagination of what she would look like. We know she was in a well, and based on the Japanese version, she was in that well for like 30 years compared to the American version, and we'll get into that. But you would have to think of really what the body would look like being at the bottom of a well, even for a few days. That would be pretty grotesque, and it would probably smell pretty friggin' bad. Yeah, right? No hair, no eyelashes, no beard. About Terrifier 3, if you want to see the subs, I've seen The Substance. I loved it. I was actually eating while watching The Substance. Definitely bloated and wrinkly prunes for sure. I mean, eek. It would be kind of gross and smelly, like very smelly. All right, so in Japan, the number 4 is associated with death due to the phonetic similarity in the language. The cursed videotape kills 4 friends, echoing the superstition known as tetraphobia, which often leads to an avoidance of the number 4 in settings like hospitals and hotels. Now, I know this. I used to work at a phone activation company way back in the day, and we would get a lot of Japanese and Chinese people that would want to activate a cell phone, and they tell you no 4s in their phone number. And I thought that was kind of like strange, but in their culture, the way 4 is said phonetically is very similar to death. So they try to stay away from the number 4 as much as possible, which is interesting. And to have tetraphobia. I mean, I like the number 13, but worldwide, the number 13 is utilized for something not good, negative. I have a 4 in my phone number. Grr. I have several 4s in my phone number, and so does Heavy. But it is interesting, right? I have been wanting to change it. You've been wanting to change it, Quindy. I know when I used to work at the phone activation place, when they call, they would say no 4s in phone number. So you had to actually find a phone number that had no friggin' 4s in it, because 4s are very common. Hello, Texas. 13 is a great number for me. It's my lucky number. I have a 4 in my phone number too. A lot of people are going to have 4s. 4s is a popular number. I have one in my postal code as well, Dahi. I have one in my address number. So my phone number has it. My postal code has it, aka zip code, and my address number has a 4 in it. So yeah, 4s. But we also, in our culture, 4 is not associated with death, and it doesn't sound like death either. So like I said, and phonetically in Japanese and Chinese culture, the number 4, the way we pronounce it, is very phonetically similar to the word death. I can't avoid 4s with our zip code. I know, right? My last job, my employee number that was used to log into the cash register was 666 in it, and one of my coworkers was very disturbed by this. The number of the beast, 666. Ever since movies started using that number, 666, everybody associates it with the devil, which is so funny because 666 was literally created in the movies. And people associated it with the number of the beast, which we know in The Omen, which is a really good movie. Oh, God, I've got 2 4s in my mobile number, twice the bad luck. I have 2 in my phone number as well, including the area code. Number 23, starring Jim Carrey, is such a great film. I kind of obsessed with that movie. Nice. Yeah, I've seen 23. True. We always seem to think good or bad things come in 3s. We do. And then, you have a lot of people think the number 13 is a bad number. It's a bad luck number. Other people think 31 is not a good number, but we don't really have any full-on superstitions about them. Just like the upside down cross, that's a movie thing. Yeah. Well, depending in what context you're talking in, because in Roman time, the upside down cross, they actually crucified people upside down. They crucified people upright, and then they also crucified people upside down. So it's really dependent on the context that you're utilizing, right? 7 is a lucky number. Yeah. Casinos made that number lucky. Some hotels skip the 13th floor. Yeah, because again, too many. 13 is an unlucky number. I don't think it's an unlucky number for myself, though. I really like number 13. I find it to be a lucky number for myself. If you use it in the Christian context, it's a St. Peter's cross. Yes. Hello, Shelley's. Long time no see. How the hell are ya? Yeah, so it's really in what you're using it. I know in the Catholic and Roman Catholic religions, crosses are utilized to keep away evil. It's also to represent protection, God's love, yada, yada. So you do see a lot of things in movies that movies help create a lot of mythology around, right? Because back in the day, people would see something in a movie or a TV show and automatically associate it with evil. Look at witchcraft. Prime example, the pentagram. The pentagram or the five-pointed star, pentacle, pentagram, both have been used in movies of long time ago, and they associated it with Satan. The problem is that the pentacle and the pentagram are both protection symbols, and Christianity actually used to use them a very long time ago because they took it away from the pagans. Now, those symbols were used for protection, but again, movies got a hold of it and associated it with Satan, witchcraft with Satan as well. So you have a lot of people that associate witchcraft, witches, pentacles, pentagrams with Satan. I know, I'm driving on the side of the goddamn road. I know. Hello, Donnie. How are you? Okay, so the novel was originally a science fiction based, while also blending in elements of supernatural horror as well. Hideo Nakata opted to remove the science fiction element in favor of a more traditional ghost story. The sequel, Spiral, Rasan, in 1998, is a more faithful to the source material, keeping the science fiction portions of the story. If you can get your hands on the original story of Ringu, I would highly recommend watching it, reading it, or if you can get the movie Rasan from 1998, is a more faithful to the novel than Ringu was. I'm glad they made it more ghost story-like and less sci-fi. I don't know. I don't think it would have done as well as sci-fi. I don't know. I like it. It's a ghost story. I am fabulous, Donnie. Thank you for asking. Fabulous. We had our Halloween party in the Discord last night. We had a great time. I talk about movies on good or evil. The Last Temptation of Christ is one of them. Today, I'm proud of being an atheist. No more watching this film took me to the road of faith. Oh. When they made The Exorcist in 1973, some strange events happened on set. Oh, yeah. There's a lot of things that people believe The Exorcist was a cursed movie. If you guys really want to see some cursed movies, on Shudder, there is a series. I believe it's 2 seasons long now, and it's called Cursed Movies. They deep dive into the Poltergeist, which I've already deep dived into Poltergeist on CCOH. We went into the curse side of things. The Omen, The Exorcist. There are numerous movies that are considered cursed because of what happened on set or to the people flying to the set. Yeah. Coincidence? Maybe. Yeah. Well, threes also show a pattern, right? So when you talk about patterns, patterns happen in threes. And I'm pouring myself some more coffee. Oh, Paul. Welcome to the crypt. I didn't see your follow. Welcome. Thank you for the follow. So as Basement is saying, the death of threes, the threes of everything, as Dahi said earlier, threes are considered a pattern. 2 is not, but 3 or more is considered a pattern. So I don't know. Going on to the American side of things, the American trailer for Ringu pronounces the word ring-oo. And that's how it's pronounced, ring-oo. So they actually say ring and oo. So it's not Ringu, it's ring-oo. The word is taken from the Anglo-American verb employed regarding the cynical nature of Sadako's curse. Ring. You have a cross in your room to avoid bad forces? Hey, whatever you like, right? I mean, in the original Ringu, Sadako is thought to have somehow survived inside a well for 30 years. And in the US remake, she's only in the well for 7 days. And in the movie, they say 1 week. In the remake, they say 7 days. I guess 7 days sounds more scarier than 1 week. I gather you will die in 1 week. 7 days. I thought that was a cute little difference if you watch them. I watched both movies back to back. So I watched Ringu 1998, and then I went right into The Ring, and you do get to see the differences between both of them. Yeah, Donnie, that's amazing for an independent film. Definitely. I don't know why, but I think of Tiffany from Seed of Chucky. Once is a blessing, twice is a curse. Could be. 7 days to die. Hey. Just like the video game 7 days. But yeah, that I like the 7 days part. 7 days. All right, so Ringu had a profound impact on Japanese horror and Japanese cinema as a whole, sparking a big trend of Japanese horror remakes, notably The Ring Virus in 1999 was produced in South Korea, but at this time, due to the then active ban on Japanese cultural imports, the film also inspired Hollywood adaptations, including The Ring 2, which is in 2005, directed by Nakata himself. Now, back in the day, there was a ban on any Japanese cultural stuff. So in South Korea, this is South Korea. So South Korea had one that was remade into Ring Virus 1999 and produced in South Korea. So they were able to actually see this movie, but it's called Ring Virus in 1999. I have yet to find a copy of Ring Virus. I'd like to see how different it is from Ringu. Is it different? Did they just slap a different name on it and try to get away with it? But I know it was actually produced in South Korea. I do, Mr. Beast. But today it's Coffee Chat of Horrors. It does sound interesting, Philip, right? I'm not a fan of Asian films, but I recommend you to watch Bloody Reunion. It's a South Korean movie. I love Asian films. I love international horror films. I watch Turkish films, French films, Asian, Korean, Taiwanese. There's a ton of horror out there internationally. And if you just stay within North America, you really miss out on some amazing films, especially pulled from their culture. The Queen of Black Magic, which in their language is a different term. I am not going to say it because I will butcher it. The Queen of Black Magic is also from 1980s, and there is one that was remade recently in 2021, I think. Beautiful. Both movies are scary, creepy, and great. If you haven't checked them out, The Queen of Black Magic, there is a review on my YouTube channel about this film. It was on Shudder. I definitely check it out. It's Indonesian. So if someone invites you to watch Joker 2, don't go. Oh, I'm not into Joker. I watch a lot of horror, just plain and simple. I barely watch anything outside of the realm of horror. I know, boring, right? But horror has so much to it. I don't need to watch other movies. I'm not huge into the action or the romance or anything like that. Give me horror all day long. I watch a lot of horror and horror-related TV shows. And there's enough to keep me entertained for eons. I know. Oh my God, I get sidetracked. I can't help it. These heathens sidetrack me. You watched Exuma recently? It was awesome. Exuma is on my list to watch. Hello, G. How are you? Welcome. I'm ReAnimateHer, and on Sundays, I do Coffee Chat of Horrors, where we deep dive into our favorite scary movies. And today, we are talking about Ringu. Hail Satan! Oh, what movie does that get me from? There's a movie that they do Hail Satan. They throw their fingers up and they headbang. Ah, fuck, I can't remember the movie. But Don is definitely like, yes, hail Satan. But welcome, G, welcome. If you like horror, you're in the right channel. House of a Thousand Corpses was one of those horror films that scared me as a child. Imagine how scary I was when I saw that. A House of a Thousand Corpses is a scary movie. That one and Devil's Rejects are two of zombies' best made films in my eyes. I do play Friday the 13th, but not on weekends. And I play them on Fridays but I schedule them on Fridays. So it's not every Friday. One legend I really like is the Wendigo. The Wendigo is great. Indigenous. It's indigenous to Canada as well in America. So that's a great indigenous folklore of the Wendigo. She is Friday the 13th, right? Right, Seven? Yeah, Friday the 13th is my favorite. Usually done on Fridays, but this month we have Black Ops 6 storyline and zombies to get into. We have too many to stay in Friday this month. I remember watching Mother of Tears by Dario Argento. I love Dario Argento, but I love Killing Jason, yes. The Headless Horseman, yes, the Headless Horseman is also part of actual folklore. I do have an Xbox. That's what I play on. Xbox, PC, PlayStation. All right, now we are going to head back into Ringu. All right, so where were we? Oh, we were talking about how Ringu had a profound impact on international cinema, sparking a trend of Japanese horror remakes, notably The Virus, which was produced in 1999 and produced in South Korea because South Korea basically banned Japanese cultural imports back in the day. So there is a film out there. I need to go and find it. The novel by Koji Suzuki, on which this movie is based on, was inspired by a supernatural horror film called Poltergeist in 1982. Although the original novel was a blend of sci-fi and horror, Nakata chose to emphasize on the traditional ghost story elements. So there you have it. International film to Koji is the Poltergeist. And that inspired him to write the novel Ringu, which stars Sadako. And I think it's really cool to see how directors and writers from other countries and other cultures do their own take on ghost stories and haunted shit, right? Like Poltergeist. Poltergeist is great. Charzy, hello. Japanese horror and Chinese horror, all these horrors from internationally, they pull from their own mythology, their own culture, their own lore, their own bedtime stories. Just like we pull from Brothers Grimm, they pull from their own cultural stuff, which does make it unique. It's very different. And the way they see things is different. I mean, look at Japanese film industry. Just look at how they are. You have so many films, and same thing in China. If you take a look at their films, now I will say some Chinese and some Japanese films, I go, what the fuck? But for the most part, they're pretty friggin' interesting. Of course, Sebastian. Of course. I will see Terrifier 3 later on. I don't like the new Halloween universe. I think it sucks. It was neat how they brought in the myth of Okiku, right? I thought that was pretty cool as well, because she's made up of numerous legends from their own culture. And they just like mixed it all up and woof, here we go. We got Sadako. I haven't seen Terrifier 3. My movie theater is not hosting it. Glass Shard. The Wailing, yes. Dark Waters is another. There's actually, there's quite a few that we're going to talk about that Suzuki has created. Keep that in mind. I'll keep that in mind. You seen it? You seen it, Seven? I will. Oh, you'll hear my thoughts. Terrifier 1 is so far the best one for me. 2 is good. Don't get me wrong. I love the gore in 2. The gore in 2, especially that bedroom scene, delicious. However, Terrifier 1 is still my favorite out of the 2 of those films. The third one, obviously, I can't make judgment on. I have yet to see it. But still, one is done. That it's still wild that your theater is not showing it. Yeah, I don't know. My movie theater isn't some kind of like podunk fucking theater. It is a big international chain called Cineplex. Trust me, I called them and I complained. I called and complained. I called them out on Twitter as well. I'm like, you motherfuckers. What the fuck? Yeah. Tiffany, I don't really do the female versions of the Friday the 13th franchise. I do more of the like bloody male versions, like Mark Jarvis, Jason Voorhees himself. I resonate more with them. So far off the road, the GPS is confused. It's been recalculating Dead Walk. I hear her voice recalculating every time. You've never seen a Terrifier movie? I have seen bits. The first one is great. The first one is actually perfect, to be honest with you. It's a perfect film, the first one. But that's all I'm going to say on that one, because I will have my views. I will be making a Terrifier video on YouTube where I go through the first, second, and third one and I'm going to rank them. I know I'm going to get hate on it because it's not going to be what everyone else likes. But you should watch them. Terrifier is definitely a good one. Okay, so let's see. Where are we? Suzuki has drawn comparisons to Stephen King due to his popularity in Japan with Ringu, Dark Water, which is another really good movie, and other terrifying novels. So think of Koji Suzuki as the Stephen King in Japan. So that's the kind of weight Koji has. And his stories are scary. Dark Water. Now, there is a remake of Dark Water. So when I tell you to watch Dark Water, watch the original and then watch the remake. There is a North American remake, and I believe it's Jessica Alba that's in the remake. I'm not 100% sure. I think. I prefer the original Dark Water over the remake, but I always prefer originals over remakes. Have I seen Brain Dead? Oh, you mean Dead Alive? Yes, I have. And I also have done a deep dive into that film. It should be on my YouTube channel. I love Brain Dead or Dead Alive. Dead Alive is the title name for it. Brain Dead is a second title name. Jennifer Connelly, that was in the remake. I know it was somebody was in the remake. I just couldn't remember who it was. I heard of Brain Dead, but no. So there's okay, before you go on Brain Dead, there are two versions of Brain Dead. Both are different movies. There's Peter Jackson's Brain Dead, aka Dead Alive, and then there is Brain Dead. So when you're looking for Brain Dead, look for Dead Alive, because you'll find it easier that way than looking up Brain Dead, because there's a whole different movie that is not even in the realm of Dead Alive. That's called Brain Dead. We've got an ad that's happening right now over on Twitch. You have looked for the movie as, yes, look for the movie as Dead Alive. It's by Peter Jackson. Dead Alive used, oh my God, the lawnmower scene where he attaches the lawnmower to his chest and goes through the house. I think that, if my memory serves me correctly, that was 500 gallons of blood in that one. But Dead Alive should be on my YouTube channel as well, because we deep dived into that one. So much fun, so much practical effects. I love it when the little monster rips through the lady's face in Dead Alive. Oh, I got to watch that movie today. I'm going to watch it again today. I've seen it a million times. I own it. Wait, I think I've seen that a bit. It was a shit ton of blood. Yeah, so Philip, basically they bring back this crazy shit from another country, and it's a virus is really what it comes down to. I think Dead Alive is still rated one of the bloodiest horror films out there, most likely. I mean, the only other films that I know that could come up to that is Nightmare on Elm Street, the scene with Glenn in his bedroom. They used a shit ton of blood for that scene. I mean, literally shit tons of blood. Evil Dead Rise, which just came out a few years ago, that movie also used a shit ton of blood. Lee Cronin brought in an industrial kitchen just to make the blood. So I actually have to look to see Evil Dead Rise. I have to see how much blood they used, because I haven't deep dived that one yet. Exactly. But Evil Dead Rise, Lee Cronin brought in an industrial kitchen to create the big vats of blood. And there was a picture that he posted on Twitter that showed these big, giant like, oh my God, it was huge, and they were filled with blood. So I have to see if that movie takes the cake in that one. Johnny Depp's, yes, Glenn in Nightmare on Elm Street. That was a lot of blood that they utilized. I did a deep dive into Nightmare on Elm Street. Yeah, definitely need a rating from you to tell us the top 5 bloodiest films. That's a great idea, and I think I will do that. Top 5 bloodiest films. Oh, there are some independent films that go crazy with blood. Yeah, you have trouble with character names. I have problems with real life names. The only reason why I know Johnny Depp because he's a huge star. I know their movie names. I can tell you movie names: Tina, Glenn, Nancy, Heather. I can tell you all their names. I cannot tell you the actress or actor that played them. The original Dark Water was good. Yes, it is, Deepak. Very good. I would highly suggest it. So much blood for Johnny's death. Yes, they used a lot of blood for that scene. And yeah, the way they did that scene as well. So interesting on how they create these scenes. Have you ever seen Starry Eyes? No, I haven't. Heather? Yeah, who can't forget? Heather Langenkamp. Nancy. I know her name as well, just because I've seen her in so many documentaries. Okay, so we know that Suzuki is drawn comparisons in Japan to be like a Stephen King. The haunting soundscape combined with the minimalist visuals makes Ringu a classic that has earned its place among the 1001 movies you must see before you die. It remains a benchmark for Japanese horror cinema, and it really does. As well as we spoke about 2 weekends ago, Ju-on, that there also broke a lot of boundaries in Japanese horror, bringing to life some of the most scariest mythology that Japan has to offer, on top of their monsters. I mean, Japan's got monsters up the yin-yang. Holy crap, their monster movies, their kaiju movies, or kaiju, however you pronounce it, they're insane. Insane. Let's see. Oh, do you know on the 2001 UK DVD release, there is a back cover, carries a disclaimer on the actual DVD? And I'm going to tell Darkbreaker, if he can find it, he needs to take a picture of it for me. It basically says, it's stating that the distributor accepts no responsibility for any injuries or fatalities that may occur during or after the viewing of this video cassette. And it's on the back. So it's like, you know how you look at the back and you have like, the director, the actors, all of that gobbledygook of text at the bottom. Well, on the back of that, it also states that this distributor is not responsible if you die after watching it. I think that is really fucking cool, right? I agree, Philip. I think it's really cool that distributors do those kind of things, because then you're like, oh, this is like, ugh, I don't know if I want to watch this shit. They're saying they're not responsible for whatever may happen during or after. I don't know what do you mean what's called Japan's name? Japan. What do you mean, Don? And on that note, in closing for Coffee Chat of Horrors, thank you for joining us in this session of Coffee Chat of Horrors, where we delve into the chilling origins of Ringu and its impact on the horror genre. Stay tuned for our next chat, where we'll be diving into the psychological horror of Audition, released in 1999. You don't want to miss it. Now, if you're watching me over on YouTube, on my channel, there is a reminder for next Sunday's Coffee Chat of Horrors edition. If you want to be reminded on it, click that video, click the reminder and the notification, and it will remind you that we're going to be deep diving into Audition. The Japan wanna called name is if you said what, Don? That doesn't make much sense. That was culturally educational. I hope you liked it. I do. I really hope you liked it. Reaper 1923 helped me with the images, and I really enjoyed digging into the Japanese culture. That's why for the month of October, we were doing Japanese horror, because they have such a rich, full culture, their folklore, their legends. It's pretty amazing. And Japan has a very creative community. I mean, the kaijus, the monsters that they create, their mythologies on ghosts and vengeful spirits. It's just chock full of amazing creative stuff. Hello, Victor. How are you? Welcome. But yeah, I really liked diving around Ringu, checking out the different information on them. So IMDb had some information, but you always have to fact check IMDb. A little word of the wise. I saw a post on Twitter earlier this week, and hello, Kratos. I love American Mary. Yeah, American Mary is great. Of course, Victor. So I saw a post on Twitter from an account, a fan account of Child's Play. And I felt bad for the poster, but basically they gave some wrong information that they obtained off of IMDb. And of course, horror Twitter ate them alive, which I don't think is fair. But it is what it is. That's why I don't rely on IMDb, because IMDb is created by people. Anybody can go on there with an account and add whatever they want to a film. It doesn't necessarily mean that exactly happened. So what I like to do is I like to go find interviews with the director. I look up the actors, the actresses to see if they've had any interviews. I literally go into forums and read. I go on to YouTube and I watch any sort of documentary that might be associated with a film. Just because IMDb just can't be trusted. You have to really research what you find on the internet, because what they have is not gospel. There's been quite a few times that I was researching a movie. I grabbed a tidbit from IMDb and then I put that into Google and found that was totally fucking made up. And I'm like, yeah, see, you can't listen to IMDb alone. It is the Wikipedia of film, macabre, 100%. Also, did you know that Coffee Chat of Horrors is on IMDb, so you can give it a review if you want? Oh God, 7, it is the entire internet. Misinformation and fake all over the fucking place. The Wikipedia isn't always the best. No, it isn't. That's what we're trying to say, is that a lot of people who do what I do record, and they do like the top 10 things or 10 things you didn't know about this film. And a lot of them pull from IMDb without any regard of factual research. They just pull shit from the internet and spew it. There are so many things. Like, I watch a lot of videos on YouTube, and there's been plenty that I actually listen to, and I write on there, this did not happen in the movie. IMDb is not God. Research your shit. The pumpkin's done. Nice. Reegs. Nice. Sweet. Put them in the Discord under the all pics. I want to see them. Yeah, I did a countdown vid on YouTube with the disclaimer that it was pulled from Wiki. Exactly. If you're going to pull shit from the internet and not do the research behind it, put a disclaimer in. Say, hey, I pulled this off of Wiki links, or I pulled this off of IMDb. There was no actual research involved. Where that's what separates my show from many others, is the fact that I put the time in to research what goes on. Exactly. Just say, take it with a grain of salt. Exactly. But people don't do that. They pull from the internet and they make a video and they're like, this is what happened. And they utilize false information. There's a lot on YouTube, especially in the horror realm, where they pull information and I'm just like, that didn't fucking happen. I know it didn't happen because I own the fucking documentary as well as the extended documentary. Yeah, referencing is important. I agree, Ace. Ra goes super deep for her info. So deep, she has to actually went to the 9th circle of hell. That is where I met Art. Love behind the scenes facts on Blu-rays and DVDs, but some new films aren't adding it anymore. I know, Charzy, and that sucks. I just did an Atari games. I'm not deep diving for that shit. I own a lot of DVDs and Blu-rays that have director commentary and that have short documentaries, which I highly recommend. And it's really sad that they're cheaping out on doing behind the scenes and director commentaries on newer videos. That's how I get a lot of my information. Like if Monster Squad, I have the collector's edition of Monster Squad. I also watched 3 documentaries that were produced on the Monster Squad, on top of interviews that I researched that I actually pulled information from. So there's a lot of laziness on the internet, but you know, if you come here, that the information I give you on a horror movie is all factual and based on actual research, not regurgitated bullshit on the internet. Because you get a lot of that. You get a lot of that shit. But I wanted this show to be different than 10 things you didn't know about Ringu or 5 things you didn't know about Ringu, which half the time they're kind of lame because anyone could find that information. You have boys in cages. How was your night last night, Kratos? We missed you at the Halloween party. Riggs, I was letting people know yesterday's taglines from the Halloween party: syphilis, alien impregnation, and pigs. There are many of those top 10 to 5 videos. Yes, because they're short and people like to know facts. They enjoy knowing about stuff. So if they can watch a 10-minute video that gives them a lot of information, and they're great if they're actually good. There's been plenty I've run into by watching and I'm like, that didn't happen. Okay, now that's some made up shit. But they do that and they clickbait it so they get you to watch, right? Clickbait titles suck, but they do their job. They get you to click in on the video or the article and you start reading it and then you realize you were just clickbaited. When I hear things you didn't know about, it means I already know. For the most part, 7. That's why I stopped doing mainstream horror, like Friday the 13th, Nightmare on Elm Street, Halloween. I don't find them interesting anymore on facts because I know it. Everybody knows it. Everybody does mainstream horror. Nobody. And I search all around. Doesn't do a lot of indie and international films. So that's why I switched CCOH to international and lesser known films. Yeah, sounds good. I'm not having a good weekend mentally thanks to a trigger from an ex-friend, and I've been lashing out, so I sat things out last night to reset my brain. I got you, Kratos. You were missed, though. I mean, they could be facts, but come on, dude. We all know that. Oh, 100%. That's why they all do the mainstream horror. That's why I stay away from mainstream horror. There's so many of those. Yeah. Everybody does mainstream horror. Everybody on YouTube. Everybody. No matter where you turn, there's a Friday the 13th video. There's a Halloween, Nightmare on Elm Street, Hellraiser. You won't find that here on CCOH anymore. Mainstream horrors, exactly, 7. Have a good rest of your stream. You too, Basement Cat. Have a good rest of your day. Thank you very much for popping in. Well, it is getting to be about that time. If you've missed anything I said in today's show, you'll be able to catch the VOD over on my YouTube channel. There will be chapters on the YouTube channel, so you can kind of fast forward through all the gobbledygook that we do, all of the excess chatting that we do on our live stream. Or if you enjoy it, you can watch the whole thing. But as soon as the stream is end and the VOD is up on YouTube, you'll be able to watch it. Our next Coffee Chat of Horrors will be next Sunday. We're going to dive into Audition. Monday night, we're going to be sitting down with horror author David of Scare Mail. So you know the Scare Mail that I do on Wednesdays? We're actually going to sit down tomorrow night and hang out with David. We're also going to read a couple of the stories that I have been saving. Some of those scary stories I've been saving for you guys. Also on the YouTube channel, you can actually remind yourself that the show is going to be on tomorrow night. It's already scheduled on YouTube. I really wish Twitch had that issue, but they don't. Sorry, I am bummed out. Another ruined Halloween year. I'm sorry, Kratos. That sucks. I'm going to send you some juju. Hey, Runnin' Bear. How are you? Of course. Thank you so very much for being here. Awesome, Reegs. Awesome. I will check it out. These credits are slow. We really have to just like pull these credits up. These credits like to sleep a little longer. They're lazier credits. I don't know what the fuck is going on, but they're lazier credits. You're not feeling that well today? That sucks. I hope you feel better, Running Bear. And now I can't put off editing. No, you cannot. You have a great rest of your day, Charzy. You take care as well, Deadwalk. Thank you guys so very, very, very much for coming here and hanging out with me on your Sunday morning or afternoon or even evening. I appreciate your time and your chit chat. Your credits? No, it's Sunday. Yeah, probably. Paul Schultz, thank you so much for your 52-month resub. I greatly, greatly appreciate that. We'll be live Monday night on both YouTube and Twitch and Twitter to sit down with David from Scaremail. And then on Wednesday night is Diablo. And this Friday, we're diving into A Quiet Place. I'm excited to dive into A Quiet Place. That will be Friday evening. And then the week after that, we're going to be diving into Diablo, Quiet Place, and Black Ops. So we're going to have a lot of fun. But thank you all for being here. Regal, thank you. Dead Walk, thank you so much for doing what you do. I appreciate you. It looks really good, Dahi. It does. I cannot wait. Thank you for streaming, downloading Vessel. Yes! Vessel of Hatred, guys. I'm addicted to Diablo's Vessel of Hatred. It is great. I was just saying thank you for being here, Reeves. But yes, thank you guys so very much for hanging out with me on your Sunday afternoon. I am ReAnimateHer. If you're still watching this on YouTube, make sure to hit that follow button. Make sure to like this video and let me know what is your favorite Asian horror. I will see you guys Monday night. Have a great rest of your weekend. Bye.